Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Greg Guy, depending upon how you know me, joined here by Mr. Cuz and Mr. Casey. And for your viewing pleasure out there today, we will be presenting our next iteration of Banghead History. So, I have no idea what is about to, transpire here. So, I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you, Mr. Casey. What are we going to talk about here today?
For this segment of Banghead History, we are doing part 2 of Genghis Khan.
Oh, you did call it. Yeah. And he was like, no.
He did a good job of covering it up, too.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, all right.
I know you've been waiting for it.
We have been. Now, if you don't realize, okay, let me go ahead and clarify that the first Banghead History.
Was it the first?
I believe it was the first.
Did you
was
do Genghis
was
Khan?
the early life of Genghis Khan?
I think it might be the second, maybe.
I think it was the first.
Oh, maybe.
I'd have
It was
double
early.
check.
It was a long time ago.
All right, so let's do a really quick recap from part 1. Temujin is the name of... Why are you trying to distract me during my thing?
I think we should not use mustaches.
I would have used them every single list. I would use them every single time. I don't care. This shit's funny.
All right, from our earlier segment,
Temujin.
Temujin is the name of Genghis Khan, the early name prior to being Genghis Khan. He was one of the younger sons of a tribal leader, and his father died, and he was the entire family was abandoned and left behind. At that point, his family suffered many hardships, including himself escaping captive from a rival tribe. He murdered his own brother to become leader of the household, and through perseverance, determination, and violence, he became the leader of the tribe that had abandoned him. One of these, in his early life, he had a childhood friend named Jamaka. He was a noble and a friend of Temujin's, which Temujin had convinced him to help out into outfitting his army. He had another ally named Togril, which was a family friend and a sworn brother of Usagai, which was Temujin's father. Temujin was able to acquire a small army from Togril, and he swore to reunite his people.
Whose people?
Temujin's.
Mongols.
Well, they were Mongols in general, but there was a lot of different tribes of Mongols. Mongols is just a much broader term of
Right,
the
but I kind of assume he was trying to unite all the tribes.
Right. Well, once his father died, the tribe kind of disbanded into separate groups and.
Oh, so this is still on a much smaller scale.
Right.
We're not even into
And there was
shit.
yeah.
My bad.
And
Get ahead of yourself.
the small army was around 20,000 men, so it was as in small. They were still fairly large. Temujin had some main strategies. His strategies were to promote capable and loyal men, not just family members, but obviously men that he trusted. He also employed a scorched earth plan. Temujin would kill any men, women, and children of the nobility or the leadership of the clans, and would kill anybody that could possibly hold a grudge against him for winning the battles. He would also inherit all the subservient classes of people.
Sounds like the mafia.
Yeah. So basically, he would take all the lower classes, the slaves of the people, and inherit them into his own. he would unite the clans of the steppes that were willing to follow him unquestionably or be crushed.
The clans of the what?
The steppes. The steppes is basically what they called the land that the Mongols had lived in.
Oh, okay.
He did have one man left between him and domination of the Mongols. I'm gonna have to steal the mustache.
How you gonna steal our Christmas presents?
Right.
That's fucked up.
I'll have to regift them.
That's super fucked up.
You'll get them next Christmas.
The same
The
one.
same mustaches.
Motherfucker doesn't stick anymore. God damn it, you fucking goddamn Jew.
I'll put something sticky on them.
I don't trust his presence anymore.
Alright, anyways. There was one man left between Temujin and the domination of the Mongols. It was Jamuka.
His friend.
His childhood friend. They both led separate bands to become the emperor or the high king of the Mongols, or the Khan rather. They both led separate coalitions to become the Great Khan of the Mongols, and in the year the separate coalition of tribes led by Jamuka were defeated, and they were all murdered.
Every last one of them.
Every last one of every, and then there was also smaller segments that also rebelled against Temujin from becoming Khan, but they were also wiped.
Systematically eliminated.
Right. At this point, after all of his enemies defeated, Temujin, we can now call him Genghis Khan, the Great Khan of the Mongols, and the universal ruler.
So
Yeah.
what does Genghis mean then?
Did he? And another part to that question, I think, would be: did he change his name to Genghis when he became Khan?
I think if I make another segment, then I'll have to add that in because I did not.
I'm gonna hold
foresee
you to that one.
I did
That
not
was a
foresee
good
that.
question, though.
Yeah, it is a good question. I did not foresee that question coming.
Cool.
So Genghis Khan at that point ruled about 1 million people.
Which is a lot back then.
Yeah. He abolished inherit.
Do we have any idea what the population of the world was back then?
I do
Oh
not know
God,
that.
you really think they
Yeah.
kept
Back
track?
in like 1200 or right 12 right about.
I would imagine that's probably the largest population.
They didn't even know
maybe
America
other
existed
than
back then.
China at that point, of people under one rule.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Fair assessment.
So he abolished inherited aristocratic titles. So anybody who was Khan of their own segmented tribe or all of that stuff, that no longer existed. He forbade the selling and kidnapping of women. So like his wife beforehand and his mother beforehand were all kidnapped and turned wives. So he ended that.
I definitely remember that from the first
yeah,
part.
yeah, that was the main sticking point.
He banned the enslavement of any Mongol. He made livestock theft punishable by death. He adopted a writing system and granted diplomatic immunity to foreign ambassadors and allowed the freedom of religion.
He allowed the freedom of religion?
Yes.
There
Back
you go.
then?
Genghis Khan, the first pope.
Well, they did say, I think I got this from Britannica, they did say that there was nobody else before him that really allowed religious freedom as a ruler.
Okay.
So there was no longer tribes of the steppes. There was no longer any. There was just one whole Mongol tribe, and it became more of a feudal system, as they used in like the Dark Ages. And
So was he the only person that had the hearsay?
he was
Whatever
he was like
reason?
king. He was like ruler.
The dictator, basically?
Basically, yeah.
He was in charge.
He didn't have anybody.
He was in charge of what, a million people?
I'm sure he had like governors, kind of like in the way of governor.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
other
you
leaders
can't
and stuff
just
like that. Yeah.
do everything yourself.
I don't know. People in today's world try to.
And the goal was for his continued expansion was always to move south into China. His cavalry style of assault was perfect for assaulting the other tribes of the steppes, but it was insufficient for taking the cities of China.
Mm.
But
That was his undoing?
right, but one of the greatest strengths of the Khan was that he was quick-witted and adapted quickly to changing circumstances.
Okay.
The Mongols were able to undertake the siege of large cities using mangonels, catapults, ladders.
What's a mangonel?
I have no idea. I'll have to look that up. Burning oil, and also by diverting rivers. So at that point, he's going to begin attacking China, but you'll have to wait another 5 months for the rest of the story.
There you go, you heard it here first. Genghis Khan Part 3 coming in about 5 months.
To be continued.
Either way, I'm happy we got Part 2, man.
We got Part 2.
Mr. Casey, thank you much for putting that together, man. He totally had us all.
Yeah, he did a good job on that.
But yeah, I can't wait for Part 3 of Genghis Khan.
That might
Some point in time, probably before our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, probably in like July.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Once again, yes, thank you.
It's like I haven't planned it yet at all.
Thank you for putting that together. If you found any bit of this content, entertaining or informative, be sure to, like, share.
Subscribe.
Hit that bell button.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Mr. Coz, Mr. Casey. There you go. Another iteration of Banghead history. We talked about, I guess, the midlife. The midlife. Maybe even a midlife crisis of Genghis Khan.
I would still consider it near the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
The beginning, Part 2.
Ooh. The
Of
climax.
If the first episode was the beginning, then this one's the early years. Because at this point, he's only conquered the Mongols. He still hasn't done anything else yet.
All right, well, there you
Those are
go.
the parts I'm waiting for.
Yeah, as am I. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen out there watching, have a lovely day.